Hello and welcome to a long-awaited hair tutorial, and this video has been requested by so many people, and by so many people I mean my 10 friends. So to a bunch of content creators that might not mean anything, but to me that's like 10 million views right there. So for those people who are always asking, we are finally going to do my long-awaited Dyson hair tutorial. And to start, my hair is freshly washed. It is drying a little bit. I don't like my hair to be super wet when blow drying my hair. So to start with prep, I prep with two products. The Wow spray, which is a heat protectant, kind of humidity control. And the second, this is very new to my lineup. I heard it's really great for brown girls and just brown hair. It is the Nexus Blow Dry Frizz Control Cream. So I'm gonna go in with both of those. And I'm very generous with the Wow spray. This one is kind of running on empty. I feel like I go through like 10 of these a year. Whenever I buy this product, I have to buy two, just cause I feel like it runs out so quickly. And I don't go to like Sephora that often, so. All right, so spray is in. This cream also serves as a heat protectant. A lightweight blow dry cream that gives 72 hours of volume while smoothing frizz and protecting hair. So kind of just going in with double. I go in with a generous amount. I'll probably get some more if needed. So I'll just give it a quick on each side, get the roots where I have the most frizz, and then I really just get in there. I'll take a little bit more. You can probably be a little bit more mindful, like pinning my hair back and doing this in sections, but I could not be bothered. Sometimes I do, but most of the time I do not. So first things first, I use about 3 of my Dyson attachments, maybe 4 if I really wanted to. I prefer this just because I can really blow dry the roots and then get the ends dry. And then if I really wanted to, I would go in with the comb just to get some of the kinks out, but it's not really necessary. And usually when I use the comb, it dries my hair out a little too much. And then I purchased this. It's the large round brush. I prefer larger waves to the smaller ones, but sometimes if I'm home, I'll use this for my bangs, the smaller one, and then I'll use this for the main part of my hair. If I'm traveling, I just take this big one. I'm not to act like I'm not an overpacker or anything, because I am. So first we're gonna go in with this. Our hair is nicely coated and protected with our many heat protectants and frizz control creams. So my main focus with this is to dry my roots and dry kind of just like the midsections of my hair. I would say my hair is about 70% dry. It can't be completely dry only because it's harder to get the tension to keep your hair styled and keep that blowout look. So next thing we're gonna do is section off. I'm gonna use my handy dandy claw clip here and section off by layers. So as you can tell, my hair has different lengths to it because I have layers. So I like to just kind of, and it's not gonna be perfect, I like to kind of just do it by length if I can. It makes it really easy to organize for the most part, and then the curls just kind of stay even. So I'm gonna do that. And sometimes, depending on how my hair is cut, I'll have some pieces that are longer on one side than the other, and that's just kind of because I have curly hair, and that's how curly haircuts work for me. So if you know, you know. All right, rocking the do. So next we're going to go in with our big round brush. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to wrap the hair around, and at first I'm just gonna get all the curls out, and then I'm going to create kind of a curl at the bottom, like so. So I'm gonna take it and put the Dyson underneath and then wrap over. First I'm gonna get the tangles out, and then so. So as you can see, it's gonna take a few times of rotating it, which is why sometimes I like to use that paddle brush, but for me, doing it an extra 2 or 3 times over is not a big deal. If you're really trying to minimize heat usage, I would recommend doing that. Once you get it to a semi-straight piece of hair is when I start kind of working that motion in to get it to style. So what I'll do is I'll run it through, and then at the bottom, I'm gonna twist in whatever direction I want. Usually I do outward, and then I'm gonna hold it in a curl. So we're gonna wrap, pull all the way to the bottom, and this is usually why I like doing it with the same length of hair. And then when we get to the bottom here, I'm gonna hook around, and we're gonna bring that curl up. And then we're just gonna hold for a little bit. I'll give it a few seconds. And then while it's still on, I'm just going to twist and pull off. And it creates this little curl here. And just ignore this little top bottom being frizzy. We're going to fix all of that. So then I'm gonna move on to the next side. For this side, I'm focusing on the top a little bit more because it didn't get as dry as I would like. So that's why I was kind of running it towards the top just to get it to dry before we style the bottom. So that is it for my 2 longest pieces of hair. So once I finish each section, I leave the bottom as is, and then I just run the round brush over the tops just to eliminate any kinks or any frizz. All right, so this section is done. With the Dyson, I really do feel like I am, hold that thought. I also like to run it through the back a little because the bottom layer doesn't really matter as much, but it always bothers me when I run my fingers through my hair and I can feel a little bit of curl. And then we're moving on to the next section. With the Dyson, as someone who's used a lot of round brush attachments, I do really prefer the Dyson over the Revlon or any other round brush that I've used because I actually do not feel like my hair is frying and burning as I'm using it. I feel like the Dyson and the Shark have gotten a really good reputation for that. So definitely worth the investment. If my Dyson broke, I would immediately buy a new one. For this next section, as you can tell, it's a thicker section than my bottom layer. So I usually do this in a few sections, and I'm gonna do the same exact thing. I always curl away from my face. So once again, I'm just gonna, because as you can tell, I have just like a little bit of frizz here. So I'm gonna do the same sort of thing without running it through the bottom and just kind of smooth it out. The closer I get to my top layer of hair, the more I care about how the back looks. Just because you don't want like nice pretty hair in the front, and then just like a bunch of kinks in the back. So this last section of hair, sometimes I like to do this in my hair in 4 sections, but for the purpose of this video, I'm gonna do 3. So we're just gonna go ahead and do the same thing, and on the top, I just focus more on the root and making sure I get the top of my hair straight. My hair is already parted the way I part it. Focusing on the root and really pulling up so we get that tension on the top, and then we also get the volume. So let's move on to the last part, or no, second to last part, and then we have the bangs. Also, in case anyone was wondering, I use the medium setting of the heat just because my hair would probably look better if I used the highest heat, but I just overheat and my Dyson overheats, so I try not to use that one. Alright, so lastly, the bangs always bring it together. So for the purpose of this video, I'm going to switch to my smaller piece here, and we're gonna do our bangs, and then we're just kind of gonna fix the top here. So for my bangs, I kind of do the same thing, except I don't actually actively twist. I like to get like a little swoop, and I like to go away from my face so we get some volume. Alright, so this side of my bangs are good. I just need to fix this frizz here. And this is a time where if I see any other kinks, I'll kind of fix it. Once I blow dry my hair once a week, I never blow dry it again. So what I have is what I get. I'm just gonna redo this piece because it's already falling out. And no, it doesn't matter that I use the small barrel. So this side is looking good. Usually I give it like a push back to kind of make sure I like it, and I do. It's probably gonna get ruined within the next day anyway, so let's move on. So as you can see, I put in a lot of time and effort in my hair for someone who's gonna go to the gym and probably ruin it tomorrow. So this is the front, and then this is how it looks from the back. Hopefully I don't see any kinks that I was telling you guys about. And then lastly, I like to go in with an oil. This one I don't really recommend. I'm trying to finish it. I like the Away one, and I've never actually purchased this one, but I like the Olaplex one as well. But I'm just gonna go in with a little bit of this frizz control oil, and it immediately, like, the difference is very noticeable. I like to try to avoid my bangs as much as I can because they get so greasy. The shorter your hair is, the greasier it gets. So that is it for my hair. If you actually watch this whole video, I really appreciate you, and props to you for having an attention span, because I cannot relate. And here is the final product. Hopefully this helps someone, and thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.